Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome along to your post-match reaction here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast. Rangers 4, Alloa 2 in the Premier Sports Cup. The draw for the quarter-final is happening right now. So as soon as it's done, or as soon as Rangers are announced and the team they're playing is announced, I will let you all know. I am joined tonight by Mark and Stuart. Nice to see, Stuart, that you have turned the lights off in your cooker. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. Another late substitute, helping friends out, as you say. But I had the cooker light on there, and both Mark and Martin was giving me a hard time because we're flashing red, green, and blue. So turned them off just in case I got abuse on live. So there you go. But yeah, good to be here. They've been here for a wee while.
Yes, Mark as well, my friend. Good to have you back on. How are you doing?
I am all right. Fresh, ready to go again for another one tonight and have a good chat about Rangers and the game that we've just watched. So,
yes, like I say, the draw is about to be done, so I will keep you right up to date with that. Stuart, mate, your thoughts on that 90 minutes?
Different, lopsided. Again, it's one of the performances where you think, okay, where's this going? Who's playing where? Because I don't think young Rice looked uncomfortable, didn't he? Really uncomfortable. He didn't like that left back role, did he?
No.
And I think what disappointed me a lot of it is that certain players that could have made a mark for themselves obviously didn't take that opportunity up. Thought young Mickey Moore looked lively. He wanted to hit the byline, didn't he? Azar's going to fix that hair out if nothing else.
Listen, he's half Viking. He can have whatever hair he wants.
What he is. Yeah. Okay, then let's not upset his dad because he's probably a big Viking. But I was just saying to Kenny.
Sorry, Stuart. Rangers have came out the draw. We are at home. And we will face Livingston at home. So the next Celtic, for whoever cares, got Partick Thistle away. So no doubt the conspiracy theories will be flying all over the place. But yeah, a home draw against Livingston, Mark. The way that we played today, the way that game went, it's kind of what we need.
It's one of the kind of ones we could have got. Obviously, I don't know if you want my opinion on that game there today. I was a bit all over the place. I was happy with certain parts of it, certain attacking phases I was happy with, but defensively, I don't know what was going on. They seemed to be wide open, not really bothered as well. Defensively, it was quite weird. It was a bit of a weird watch, and then obviously in the attacking, the striker position when Danilo was on, I didn't really see much either, so it was a bit of a mismatched game. We obviously won, but it's against Alloa, so you should be expecting that. But I think there's some bits to pick apart from that game tonight. But I'm pleased with the Livingston draw. It's probably one of the better ones we could have got. But then Livingston can always be a tough game as well. So we'll deal with that when it appears.
Yeah, I mean Livingston at home in the next round. We'll come on to that in a wee minute, but yeah, you probably couldn't have asked for a better draw than that, to be honest with you, apart from maybe Partick Thistle at home. Again, it doesn't mean that we're going to go on and win the game, because as we've seen today, Stuart, if you're looking just purely at the defence, yeah, Bailey Rice isn't a left back. Did not look comfortable at the left back. You could argue for Alloa's first goal, he pulls out because he doesn't want to give away a free kick or whatever, Stuart, but he's got to just either take him out, but don't let him advance into the box with the ball. Aaron's again at right back, looks really uncertain, looks really unsure. I thought Fernandez at times looked comfortable, good with the ball, scores a good goal, and Giga. But there's just something in our defence now. Every time a team come forward, you're a little worried.
100%. What I'm just reading here, it's Livy or Hibs.
Oh, Livy or Hibs.
They play tomorrow. Yeah. Before answering that, I did say to Kenny before the game had ended, I went, I hope we get a Diddy team Then I said to myself, well, we can't draw ourselves, can we? You know what I mean? Because at the moment, that's where we're going around. But what frightened me was how high up the pitch our two centre-backs play. I mean, I think they were, at one point they were 40 yards for the Alloa goal, and I thought if we get a very quick, if we keep playing that way, and we get a quick striker, Maeda, for example, we're struggling. We're struggling to get back in time for that.
High up.
Yeah, it's dangerous, absolutely dangerous. But I agree with you, what you're saying there about Aarons. He looked very uncomfortable. Also, as if he was going. I think he said to himself, "I'm just here because the captain's not playing." And Tuesday night I'll probably be back at left back.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's playing with the guy's head, because if you play for Bournemouth and went to Valencia, you're surely better than what you're showing. Maybe.
Well, he only played 4 times for Valencia, Stuart.
No, but you still need to be half decent to play 4 times, 1 time, 2 times, 40 times for Valencia, surely.
Well, I don't know.
I'll throw it back to you. Who other than Aaron and our team could play 4 games for Valencia? 2 of them, remember, was Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Are we talking under the Gary Neville era? Because I think anybody could have maybe have got into that Valencia team during the Gary Neville era, but I don't know. No, look, there's obviously quality there. You don't play in the Premier League, and you're still not part of a Premier League team if you don't have quality. It just seems, Mark. It just seems that he's. I don't know if he just needs to take time to bed in, or what it is, but he does seem to be struggling.
He seems a bit tentative, if I'm honest. So he doesn't seem to be sure of what he's supposed to be doing. He seems to, when he cuts back all the time. He seems to cut back instead of playing that ball forward, so we don't break through the lines. We get a nice little tippy tappy in the midfield. We get up the wings, and then he cuts back and then plays it back through the midfield again. He doesn't seem to be 100% sure on what his role is meant to be, I don't think, and he does come across as really timid and shy and unsure of what he's supposed to be doing, which I don't understand as a professional footballer that's played 4 games for Valencia, that he doesn't know how to play football. And obviously he's played for Bournemouth and obviously whatever he's done at youth level, so I don't understand it myself, unless he's getting mixed messages from the manager and the coaching team, or he's just taking that time to bed in, like you say. But he does seem a bit timid, if I'm honest.
Yeah. What about Fernandes? Did he, Stuart? Did he show you anything? About getting into this team, breaking in his team, maybe taking a place off his Suter or Giga?
He's go well. He got up there. He done that well. My fear is we need an experienced 30-year-old, 28, 29, 30-year-old to come in at centre-back. This having young guys under the pressure that we have currently at the moment. If we'd won the first 2 games of the season convincingly, then won tonight convincingly, you wouldn't be having this. I wouldn't be having these thoughts. But really, we need some experience in that back. And unfortunately, I don't think Suter's a man to help the 2 young boys. We need somebody. That's why we thought Cody would have been a good shout, but obviously that drifted away. Quite glad that your boy Mandy, he's no coming, because again he was another 21-year-old. We need experience in the back. Somebody young, 28, 29, 30, strong, physical, vocal, that kind of thing. I don't see it in that defence. Right or wrong, the back 4. I don't see a commanding voice there. A commanding voice would have helped John Rice today.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think to be honest with you, I think Rice was on a hiding to nothing today. As soon as Heart and Hand posted that thing on Twitter about when they were doing the warm-ups for the defenders, and it was obvious, Mark, that it was going to be Bailey Rice at left back, he was on an absolute hiding to nothing. He obviously comes off injured. His Rangers career has just started. Let's be honest, it's just started. It's never really got going. And when he's getting a chance now, I mean, you cannot be putting Bailey Rice in at left back. I'm sorry, it's nonsensical.
No, I agree. I think you're just wasting the boy. If he had any chance of doing anything at Rangers, you're wasting him by putting him in a position that's not his natural position. It's nowhere near his natural position. So it's the lad, like you say, he's on that hiding to nowhere. Put him in there. It's kind of a shame that he's been put in that position, but he's not going to refuse to play, is he? I mean, none of us, if they put you as a left back, you would do it. You know what I mean? You'd play because you want to play, but I don't think it was fair on the lad. He didn't look terrible when he had the ball going forward, but going backwards, it was not his thing at all. He looked fine when he had the ball, and he was trying to go forward, but it didn't look great when he was under any sort of pressure going backwards. So I think it was a mistake that shouldn't have happened in the first place. But I don't know why he's done that, but he always has his reasons for that. But it's a shame for the lad.
Yeah. Let's hear, shall we? From, in my opinion, the man of the match. I'm not having any of this player of the match nonsense, right? It's man of the match. End of. This whole player of the match stuff has to stop, right? But let's hear from man of the match. And in my opinion, and I'll get your two opinions after we hear them, I thought Joe Rothwell was really good today. I thought he was really good. I will caveat it by saying it's Alloa, right? So that's not going to be the acid test of where Joe Rothwell is. But again, I thought he was very, very good. So let's hear from him and Fernandez. And by the way, when you see this, folks, remember Joe Rothwell is 6'5".
Is that just a case of job done tonight?
Yeah, it was obviously just about winning the game and progressing through to the next round. And thankfully we've done that. The main aim was to win the game, and like I say, thankfully we've managed to do that tonight.
Didn't manage to put the game to bed till later on. Is that a frustration?
I suppose it can be. Obviously, we'd like to have seen the game off when we managed to put the third one in, and we had chances then to really go on and like you say, put the game to bed. But as I say, thankfully we managed to get that fourth in the end and get us through to the next round. Are
you happy with your own performance and the level you're reaching?
Yeah, obviously there's still a lot more to come. I feel I'm growing each game, so the more games I can get, the better. But as I say, there's still plenty more to come from my side of things, and not just myself. I think as a team as well.
Emmanuel, you make your debut tonight. How did it go for you?
Look, we got the job done. I'm happy about my first goal for the club, and now we're on to the next game.
Has it been frustrating sitting in the sidelines watching the team playing, and you're itching to get onto the pitch?
Yeah, obviously, but sometimes in life you got to wait your turn. And look, the team's been doing well. I can't thank the gaffer anymore for giving me an opportunity to play today, and hopefully more to come.
And you've settled in okay in Glasgow. You've settled in around the club, and now you'll want to make your mark moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. Look, everyone's been very welcoming, and it's easy to settle in a place like this. And look, hopefully I'll make my mark soon, and hopefully I'll continue playing.
Joe, just finally with yourself, watching the game this evening, it was noticeable you were looking to try and play the ball forward a little bit more, looking for those more penetrating passes. Is that something you've spoke to the manager about?
I've not needed to. I've watched games back myself and noticed that there's plenty of opportunities for me to play forward, and it's something that I try to do all the time. But past few games, I've probably took it a bit safe. So yeah, today was, if I seen it, I tried to do it, and sometimes it come off, and there was the odd time it didn't. But yeah, more positive on my side of things, and I think as a team, like we say, we got the job done and got ourselves through to the next round.
Joe, you're the man of the match. Emmanuel, can you please give him the award?
Oh, that's fine.
Well, at least they called it man of the match at the end. I was joking, folks. I was joking about him being 6'5". It was just a wee joke. Calm down. I can see loads of people in the comments going absolutely after that. I think I might be having some slight internet issues because I thought that it was Stuart and Mark that were freezing, but it's clearly me. So Stuart and Mark might need to take over this reaction while I try and get it sorted. But listen, Stuart, give me your thoughts on Rothwell today. Again, look, I'm caveating it by saying it was Alloa, right?
Yeah.
But that's a lot more of what we want to see from him. I thought 2 or 3 times a day he played some excellent passes. I thought he was great on the ball. But again, it's Alloa.
Yeah. Take away the side, it was Alloa. It's good, though, that he's looking back on his own games to see where he can change things. That's promising. That's encouraging. He did get the ball forward quicker, but I still think there's times where he's always looking to play it through the centre. We've got 2 wingers. Give the wingers the ball. Let them do what they want to know, what they can do, and hit the byline and then get the ball in. But yes, it was encouraging to see what he done. It's good to see that he threw himself at the ball for Alloa's first goal, then it rebounded off his head with I think it was an Aaron's clearance, see if we can clear it. But yes, I'm encouraged with him. Probably his best game. But I was laughing there with young Fernandez when he said that it's been okay sitting on the bench looking at the games because we've been playing really well. I thought, what game have you been watching? What games have you been watching? But it's fine. That's the boy's thoughts. He was always obviously excited for scoring his first goal there. Hopefully more to come from the young fella, but I think he needs some experience beside him if he's going to play more than they had been recently. Right,
so Stevie Scotty 19, right? Martin, if you think Rothwell was good tonight, then holy moly, we're in deep SHIT. Everyone can see it. This will never work. It's awful watching these guys trying to break down lesser teams. I did caveat it, Mark, by saying it's Alloa, right? And I mean, no disrespect to Alloa. They're a League One team, but we've spent millions in this transfer window. So a game against Alloa should be comfortable. But I can only say what I've seen on the park. And what I seen on the park was Rothwell looked decent. He looked good. I don't think there's anything too outrageous in saying that.
No, you're watching the game in front of your eyes. I thought he had a decent performance. I think he's a decent player. He tries to play the ball forward. He tries to make that cut and pass. Like Stuart said, he goes through the middle, which I'm not overly fussed with that. As long as he remembers we've got wingers as well. He spreads the play a lot. He seems to be able to pick out a decent pass. When I was watching him specifically, because I thought he's been playing well-ish. He's looked decent, that he's actually trying to command the midfield. He's trying to command the players in front of him. You can see him with hand gestures, making people go there, do this, come back, fill that space, make that run. So he seems to be one of the better players that we've brought in. I think we're just missing key components. Like I go back to what Stuart said with the experienced centre-back. Definitely need one. We're missing a trick there. You've got too many young lads in there, and they need that experience, guidance there to run with the young lads to make them, obviously, to take them through games, because these lads are 2021, so you need to have that experience seed, and I don't think John Suter is just that guy who's going to do it. I think we need another one in. But no, I've been relatively happy with Rothwell's performances. I know it is Alloa, and it needs to improve against the bigger teams, but that will come with time. I think he's not the problem in the team. The problem is defensively, and we need a striker because we don't have anything up front.
Evening, folks. Martin's obviously had some internet issues, some technical difficulties, and I've stepped into the bridge to try and help out while Martin sorts that. The irony of which will not be lost on anybody who watched the watch along with me and Martin, because it was me who had the issues at the start of that particular show. So we are where we are. This is why I'm in the watch along chair as well, because I haven't had time to move back around or anything. So we'll just have to make do. Stuart, I believe on the back of Mark's point there about a striker, obviously, you're talking about Rothwell. I have to say, Danilo felt like an empty jersey to me in a lot of ways today, Stuart. I don't. Again, there's just not a lot of movement, and at least when Iggerman came on, Iggerman's trying to do things for himself. He's pulling himself out a bit to try and come and get the ball, because admittedly the service had dried up a bit at times as well. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be missing Dessers, so hopefully Iggerman can stay fit enough and be ready enough to step in, because I'm not feeling confident about Danilo at the minute. Oh, Stuart's on mute. It's straight away.
That's because I ran away and see that one of the guys says Stu's away for a poo. It's no me, I just let the dog out. He's away for a poo. Then I forget to put myself off mute. Jesus. Yeah, Danilo. What can we say about him? £6 million, really? We must have been getting laughed at that. But there again, if we managed to get rid of Jefty for £6 million, we'd be laughing at the team which bought him for £6 million. But you're right. Interesting. He probably starts on Tuesday night, Con, which is frightening. Yeah, because I don't think potentially Igman's got the legs yet to come on and start on Tuesday. He's missed, 3-4 games potentially. So yeah, we'll probably say that Danilo starts on Tuesday, along with. Try to think who else could play. Because we're now spoiled, aren't we? Are we going to? Do we go Gazman and Ant-Man, or is it now Young Moore and Asgard? You've got choices here. We just unfortunately don't have a selection of number 9s at the moment, which is frightening because we're losing goals. We're just no. I don't think we'll score enough on Tuesday. Hopefully, that's a different story when we come on Tuesday night and the real Rangers turn up for a European night. Who knows?
Yes, hopefully. I mean, Mark, we have had tendencies, to be fair, of being able to turn up in European nights when it matters, albeit the away leg against Pilsen. We certainly didn't, and we made harder work of that. We shouldn't. There was maybe an issue with the fact we were 3-0 up, that they thought the job was already done. But I'd like to think being back to square one against Bruges and 0-0, that should deal with that. But I mean, where would you be going with the strike option on Tuesday? Because I mean, I agree with Stuart. It feels like it probably will have to be Danilo, just because of who's been in the European squad, and I don't know who's called up. I know Mikey Moore, if he's in the squad, has during his time at Spurs played through the middle. I'd be tempted, if he's available, to give him the nod and see what he could do.
I'd see, who did we add? Was it Mikey Moore and Asgard?
Yeah.
So the two, that's good options that we've got. But my main concern is the striking berth, because Danilo, as much as he's a nice bloke, I think he doesn't offer anything. You see, he didn't offer nothing that whole time that he was on. As soon as Igman came in, he's driving, he's running, he's chasing, he's harrying, he's in there. You can see, he's on the pitch because he's actually trying to affect it, whereas Danilo isn't offering nothing. So is Igman in the squad, or is he not in the squad?
I don't think he's in the squad. I'm not sure. Somebody in the comments, because you are usually very knowledgeable people, let us know if Igman is in the squad or not. I'm not 100%.
I didn't think he was myself, mate. That's the issue, because I would start with him. If he's in the squad, I would start with him, because Danilo offers nothing. And I don't know, Deathless is not as serious as we first thought. So that's a relief. But like I say, and I've been banging on any pod that I've been on, we've been talking about it. We need another striker. We are lacking quality options up front, and then you can see it. Dessers is out, and then we've got Danilo, who doesn't offer anything. He was good pre-season, but when the real stuff starts, he's just fell away. So I'm not overly keen on having him leading the line, because I don't think he offers enough. Well, anything, never mind enough. But I'm happy with the other two lads being in, because then you've got options. You can start with whoever and then switch when they start to burn out. So I'm happy midfield wise. I'm happy defensively. We could do another experienced centre back, and then up front. So I'm not fussed with the midfield. The midfield is the strongest part of the team. It's defensively, and then the striking department that my main concerns are.
I mean, 100%. I mean, if we look defensively, Stuart, again, today, and me and Martin spoke about it in the watch along. Both goals really for Alloa. It's so last ditch. It's so sloppy, and I know that this is how we're playing, and this is how Russell Martin wants to play, and I get that, but there seems to be a bit of a dichotomy between what happens, because at times going forward, there are times where we do string passes together really well and look quite well. I mean, I think at one point Dill flicked a brilliant ball over the top for Mikey Moore, which if he goes with his left foot, he's at least getting a shot on target. And obviously Rothwell was pulling some strings today as well. But when you look at the defence, it felt like, and it wasn't many, but Alloa, I think it was like 7 shots Alloa got today. And anytime they were coming forward, we looked a bit all over the place, and balls into the box in particular seem to be a real struggle right now. And that was epitomised by the 2 goals that Alloa scored.
That's not a day, Cameron, is it? We could talk about how poorly we defended today. We've been defending poorly for about 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's not a shock, is it? Really, it's just that we need. I know Ian's saying there we need a big physical number 9, we also need a big physical number 4, number 5, whatever number you want them to be, playing at. You know something, I think we missed a wee trick there today, to help young Rice. Potentially, if we played, and I know I'm going to contradict myself here because I always said why play him for the sake of playing him, but if Tab played at centre back, he could have talked Rice through the game. It's good centre backs do, you know. But I would love to have your thoughts, Connor, on our goalkeeper when the time comes around to talk about him.
Yes, well, we will get there because he had a few moments, today. But Mark, let's kind of go blow by blow here, because I think you need to examine each sort of incident as its own thing. The first goal that Alloa scored to draw level at 1-1, you know, we were at that point, without being necessarily brilliant, we were in control of the game. You know, we had the bulk of possession as you would expect. We had created a number of chances. We got our noses in front with what I thought was a very, very good goal from Bayrami. I mean, it's an absolute peach of a finish. But that comfort that we had didn't seem to last very long because Alloa, to their credit, responded. But, you know, Rice gets outpaced and ultimately gets sent to the concession stand for a hot dog. And the boys cut inside. Has a decent enough effort. Kelly, I thought, done well enough to come out and try and smother it and block it off. But then after that, for me, there's too many of our defenders just sort of standing in there, not really picking up the man. And then it's unfortunate for Rothwell, who's on the floor, that the ball's hit off his head and in the back of the net. But is there a case there to say that Max Aarons is on the line when he's clearing that? Maybe needs to be a wee bit more composed because it was very much a rushed, panicked clearance, and that's how it's ended up in.
Maybe he could have done, but it's like you say. I think the player standing around, was it Giga? Giga was just stood there before the ball had even went in the net with his hands down, pointing. Then he was pointing and complaining at people. So he's already conceded the goal before it's even went in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand. It's like but then it all comes from having such a high line, because we have such a high line and the players the defenders aren't getting back quick enough. You've got no one there. All the defenders are running back to their own 18-yard box from the halfway line and forward of that, and it's like you're just bringing pressure on yourself by the way we're defending far too high. I know that's his style, but they've got to run back and cover as soon as it's turned over to the opposition. You've got to get back into your position, but they're just mincing it back, and then that leads to obviously Bailey's in the wrong position. He shouldn't be playing there anyway. He gets skinned and he's gone and the ball's in and then it bounces off Rothwell. There's nothing he can do about that. But like you said, there was a rushed clearance, but it's one of the comedy of error goals. But the defence were just stood still. I was like statues watching. I was like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it was a comedy of errors, Stuart. Unfortunately for us as fans, it wasn't exactly funny. But I mean, what do you put that down to, Stuart? Because I just think, look, it is, as I said earlier, it's unlucky for Rothwell. I don't know why Aarons is so. I know he's on his own goal line, right? But you can still be composed there, you know. But he's just swaffed it anywhere, hoping for the best. And okay, you can say there's bad luck involved, but when you're playing a side like Alloa, with the greatest respect to Alloa, they shouldn't be putting us in that type of position in the first place, in my opinion.
With a great respect, first of all, to my good friend, my good military friend, Mark. Yeah. Was it not Jiga who was lying at the halfway line looking for a free kick when they broke away, and then he sat up in his bum, and then when they scored, he started chasing the referee for a free kick. So it might have been maybe someone else there. Maybe Mark, it might have been Fernandez, Mucker, yeah. But yes, I mentioned right at the very start, I think, of the show about Aaron's clearance and how unfortunate it was to come off Rothwell's head. But the ball should never have got there in the first place, you know, and potentially. I just shouldn't have got there in the first place. And I'm on a downer. Not because I shouldn't have been a downer because we won, right? We progressed through to the next round, same as last week in Europe. But do we honestly see any improvement? I don't. Oh, it's the only thing that Russell Martin has not said yet, and I'm sure he'll say it, is we will play with the handbrake off. Because he talked about fast passing, aggressive on the ball, off the ball. We'll keep running. No, he almost said, and Ange, didn't he? We'll keep running, and then when we can't run anymore, we'll run more. He's not said that yet, and he's not said about the handbrake football off. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And Aaron's agreed with me, goes, it's getting worse. I just don't see. We complained about PC last season, didn't we? About I don't see a style. I don't see where. Just give me an identity, and I'll be able to follow that identity. But I don't even see this of what I can get all excited about and say, oh, I can't wait to the 31st August.
Yeah,
I'm not back to up, Connor, sorry.
No, not at all, not at all. It's all about this. It's called the Rabble, Stuart. So you're in the perfect place for it. The thing is, but that's that goal. But then you see the other side of things where we get a free kick. Rothwell Mark plays a brilliant, but I think it's a great free kick he takes. I said that there's a strange thing with Rothwell where, you know, he can produce great passes, great crosses. He just can't seem to shoot to save his life. When you see some of the attempts he's had over the last couple of weeks. But this free kick was brilliant. He's floated it in right on the button, and Big Fernandez, you know, that's why you have somebody with that type of height, you know, so he can get on the end. It doesn't work in our defensive half, which we'll come on to later, but a great header. You know, I think the fact he's managed to not only glance it and guide it, he's got it down into the ground as well, which is just makes it so much more difficult for the goalkeeper. And you're kind of breathing a sigh of relief going, right, we're back in front, at least in this game. We're not going to go half-time at level.
Aye, that's right. I think that's what I'm saying about Rothwell. I said earlier in this pod that I like his range of passing. He does try to pick out the man, and he does see it as well when he goes for it. Doesn't always work out, but at least he tries it. I think I've heard that he can actually score some screamers from outside the box, but we haven't seen any of that yet this season. But I think he was doing it last season for Leeds and that. So hopefully it'll come. That'll come with time and more games that he plays. But that was a lovely pick out, and the header was textbook. So I was pleased with that goal. That's what I'm saying. I think there's points and there's parts of the game that I can pick out good bits of play, but it is Alloa. If you stick that competition and that level up, we're going to get found out by better teams, and it does worry me a little bit defensively. We're far too open. We've seen it already with the amount of shots conceded. I think it was, what did they say, 75 in the 4 European games. 75 chances on goal we've conceded in 4 games. That's mental to me. That isn't good enough. So obviously that defensive setup that he wants to put out there is going to cause us to become unstuck, I think, if we keep persevering with that, shall we say.
Yeah, potentially. I'm just trying to see if I can get... I know that not a lot of people will necessarily want to listen to him, but some of Russell Martin's comments are at some stage.
I'll try and get that interview up, Connor, right? But
Martin's back.
Yes, Martin's back. Right. Listen, are we being a wee bit too, and I'm just thinking about this from my own personal point of view, right? Are we being a wee bit too downhearted on the result and the performance, Connor, considering that Russell Martin made 10 changes?
Yeah, it's a factor. Sniper has decided this is depressing. I apologise if that's how it came across me, but I was just going through each incident as they happened, and you have to give your honest opinion of those incidents. And we did mention how good the second goal was, so there has been positives, and I think there are positives to take for that, no doubt. It's tricky because in isolation, Martin, right? This game isn't a huge issue. In isolation, you go, well, you know what? Job done. You're through to the next round of the cup. That's the main aim of this game. So in isolation, not a problem. it's the backdrop that we're coming into this. We're coming into this off the back of a poor performance against Dundee last week, where again we struggled to deal with set pieces. They hit the post twice and then they scored for one. It's the Motherwell game that preceded that as well. It's the fact that domestically we've not got going this season, and that's where the frustration comes. Because I don't think we should be conceding 2 goals at home to Alloa. I just don't. Not in the manner in which we did. So I think that is the difficult thing. But listen, we said at the end of the watch along as well, Martin, there are some positives. Mikey Moore, I thought, very good debut for him. I thought he showed, a few exciting things. Joe Rothwell puts in a man of the match performance today. And, I don't even think there's any debate about that. So you've got to give credit where it's due to him for that as well. I thought Igaman looked okay when he came on as well. And obviously Finley Curtis, which I'm sure we'll come on to, I think was sending a bit of a message to Russell Martin with the nature of his celebration to go, I need to be getting more game time, because he should be. The form he's on. It's basically 3 goals in the last 4 games that he's played for us. So you've got to give that credit there. So, yeah, maybe we're being overly harsh on certain things, but it's only because the backdrop that it's coming in.
Well, let's hear from the manager then, shall we? Let's hear what he's got to say and see if it inspires a little bit of hope or some positivity into us, or it drives us in the other direction. I know which one I'm voting for. So let's hear from our manager.
So thanks for joining us here on Premier Sports. The draw has just been made. You still don't know who you're going to play. It's going to be Hibs or Livingston. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's something to look forward to. I think we have a lot of games between now and then, but I think the ultimate thing is we're in the draw in through the next round. We won today after making 10 changes. And a lot of the guys that started today, the first time competitively here, they'll be in a much better place for that 90 minutes.
And after winning your first domestic cup game, you clearly understand the need for this football club to be winning trophies. Are you quite happy to take that on your shoulders and push it forward?
Yeah, we have to be. I think we all want the same thing. We also understand there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of improvement to be made on today as well. We made it a bit more difficult at times than we should. But yeah, we're just going to continue to work really hard to do what we can in every competition we play.
Yeah, back to today's game, some positive things, some things for you to work on and be concerned about. What was your overriding emotion around the game?
Well, I think I saw lots of really good stuff. So like we start the game with real intent and then score. And then we can't quite sustain the intensity all the time. So then maybe guys think, it's a little bit easy. So out of possession, we didn't have the intensity required. So they had a few too many moments in the first half that they just shouldn't get. But I think that comes with guys that haven't played consistently and haven't had a lot of minutes on the pitch. So, but we need to improve that for sure. But there was lots of good stuff. And then first 15 minutes of the second half, I thought we looked really strong. It was a bit more fluid. And then again, it just becomes a bit difficult. You can't quite sustain those levels and you make lots of changes. But there'll be a lot of players that are better for this. Manny's first game, Mikey's first game. And then the guys around it haven't played very much. And Nadeem obviously scored a really nice goal. We got Hamza and Tello on the pitch. I think you can see what they're going to bring us. Tello in particular, the way he takes the ball. And so there's lots to be really excited about. But it's my job to always want more from the players and from us as a group. So we'll look at it and we'll learn from it. But I do think as a squad, we'll be in a better place from today.
So it sounds like you're pleased with the depth of the squad. You're getting a few more options back in to give you the chance of changing things ahead of games or in games.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mikey gives us another option. You saw moments of that today. Tello, definitely Hamza. So it's great to have them guys involved and fit. And I thought Manny for his first game, there's lots of good moments and a few moments we need to work on. But we knew all of that before today. So yeah, I'm pleased with where we're going. But like I said, we have to continue working always.
And you've got another big game here on Tuesday night. Barring Bailey Rice, a clean bill of health, and some of your key players rested ahead of that one.
Yeah, I think so. So it's worked out well in the end. We probably had to put Tav on earlier than we would have liked, and if not, rest him completely. But yeah, so Tuesday's a completely different game. We have a good opportunity to train really, really well tomorrow because there's a lot of guys that didn't play today and only had a few minutes. So we need to make the most of the next 2 days to prepare.
Thanks very much for your time, Russell. Thank you.
Cheers,
good luck.
There's comments coming in saying that Stephen Craigan was a little bit soft on Russell Martin there. Stuart, one of the comments that I took from him, where he's like, I always strive to want more. I'm like that. Well, all the fans are screaming for more right now. We want to see more right now. We're not striving for more. We want to see more. because whatever way you want to look at it, however you want to dress it up, right? My honest thoughts on the game were some spells where we looked quite good in possession. There was some nice one-touch passing, scored a couple of decent goals. But for the majority of that game, Stuart, we were off it. We were off the pace. And as I want to bring this comment up from Aaron, why only 15-minute spells is a question that I actually asked during the watch along with Connor as well. And sometimes, Stuart, it's not even 15-minute spells, it's 5-minute spells. And we're spending most games on the back foot.
It's as he said, that we started well, then we scored, and then we didn't push on from there. If you close your eyes, that could have been Clement, it could have been Veal, could have been Gilles. It's all been the same season after season after season. We have not, after we score the first goal, we do not go for the juggler, and we don't go and kill the game. And that's why we end up getting pegged back. Then it's one each. Then it's nippy bum time. Then, we score again and we go, oh, thank God for that. But then we die away again. So if he's looking for, if he's saying that it's only 15 minutes interval, well, guess what? You the gaffer, go and fix it. Go and fix it. I know we can't blame now. I think because when I watched the program, I think I can't remember if it was an afternoon show with you, Martin, where you were saying about somebody mentioned about the European game. We had 5 of the new starters playing, so we can't really blame anything else. And I said, well, if that's the case, then we still have 6 of the players that has been there in the past that has let us down time and time again. We can't see that today. So what is it? I still think it's a mentality problem that we just don't turn up for these games. For whatever reason, I don't know. Do we send them all the way to a shrink and get investigated in the brain to see what's wrong with them, and then get them out there for Tuesday night?
I believe, Stuart, the politically correct term is sports psychologist.
I'll go for that then. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we heard about the sports psychology before, wasn't it? Or when was that the guys that was saying to PC about he's only got 20 minutes in his leg?
That's scientists. Sports
scientists. Yeah, there you go then. See, you can tell that come from Gubbin, don't you? Originally. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I get your point and all of that. But I just think there's something wrong with the whole squad. If we can only play for 15 minutes, score, then die away, and our manager can't do anything about it, or the whole team cannot do anything about it, it worries me.
Yeah, and it worries me as well. Right, so the Alchemist has now been a member for 8 months. I actually think the Alchemist has been a member for longer than 8 months, to be fair. But Martin Douglas is a legend, and Charles D as well. You can read the word for yourselves on screen now. It starts with an F and ends with a Y for anybody who is listening back to the audio platforms. Couldn't agree more, Alchemist, and thank you for your continued support. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, Andrew Duncan has also put in a super sticker, so thank you very much again, Andrew. He also put in one during the watch along, so thank you for the support. My friend Perry has also put in a super chat without the chat, so make sure to get your point in, Perry, and have a seat in the comments, my friend. I will bring it up, but again, thank you for the support. And Super Sal, Mark, and I'll take this to you whilst we're discussing the defence, and thank you very much, Super Sal, for the super chat. Can you imagine Maeda against our defence? This is probably one of the big worries. Not because Maeda is some world-class footballer, just for the sheer pace that the guy's got. So I think Supercell's probably got a point.
Aye, definitely. If you put us against those fast, pacey wingers of opposition teams, they'll tear that apart. That's what I said earlier. You come up against quality opposition, they're going to rip us apart if we play like that defensively. You can see it coming a mile off. So I think we need to get the finger pulled out pronto and shore up that defence. And I don't know what he's working on, but the defence need to switch on. Otherwise, like Super Sal says there, he would rip us apart just on pace because we're so wide open and we're so far up the pitch, and we don't seem to be putting the effort in to get back to our own defensive box. So it's a worry for me. I'm sure the rest of the guys will shadow those comments that it's a worry if you get us against those players, we're going to get torn apart if we don't switch on.
Yeah, it's really worrying. Right, okay, Connor, will we ever going to get and I say this because of the 10 changes, and there's going to be, I would imagine, another 5 or 6 changes on Tuesday, if not a little bit more. Were we ever going to come out of this game, no matter how it went, Connor, feeling more confident about the team? Or are we just simply in a position right now as supporters where we can't see the woods for the trees? We're just down because of the way that the season started, and whatever happened today wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference?
Yeah, I think, and we spoke about it earlier, it was never going to be a game that you were going to go, right, we're back. We're definitely back in the groove. Everything's looking fit. You weren't ever going to get everybody coming around after a game like this, because the expectation is you should put a number of goals past Alaba at home and you should beat them, right? So just from that basis, I don't think it was ever going to prove anything. Obviously, it could always get worse. I mean, if we had lost, just imagine what type of reaction we'd be looking at right now. So at least that didn't happen, and we did win the game, which is important. It didn't get worse, but I don't think it was necessarily. You hope, as Bob McBob has said there, a run of wins would be nice. If you get a run of consistency and you start picking up wins and results, then that's going to be great. The concern for me is domestically, even taking Europe out of the equation, our next couple of games are very, very tough. Very tough. You're going away to St Mirren next week. St Mirren have started quite well this season, a valiant effort, against Celtic, and then last week a draw with Motherwell. They've put Hearts out of the cup the day as well. They're doing not too bad, and going there is going to be tough. You're going to be frustrated because they can defend very well. We need to find answers and solutions to those issues. And then, of course, you've got the old firm that will come off the back of that as well. And then I think there's even a game against Aberdeen in early September, and we know what those games can be like. So I think that's the concern, as people go, well, yes, we need a run of wins, but can we actually do that? Are we capable of going and winning the next 2, 3, 4 games? And because see, if we did, I think that starts to get people feeling a bit better about things and feel like, okay, maybe we are starting to go somewhere. Maybe something's starting to happen. But with today's game, it's a win, but the nature of it, as Singing the Blue said, does give you a strange feel. You're happy that we've won the game, of course you are, but you're still a bit like, oof. Without that penalty, which I'm sure we'll come on to, we wouldn't necessarily have felt very comfortable going into the last 10 minutes of that game when they scored.
Yeah, probably not. And at one point, Connor, I says to you, the only difference between us and Alaba right now is a penalty, which was the case, which was quite worrying. Any arguments? I know, why would we, Stuart, argue, right? But any arguments over the penalty? I think for me, it's a clear-cut handball. I don't think even, his hand's out in front of his body, it hits his hand in the box, that's going to be going into the goal otherwise. Whether he means it or he doesn't mean it, for me, I can't see anybody arguing that that's not a penalty.
I thought it was soft.
Oh, well, I was wrong.
I thought it was soft. How close was his hand or his arm for when Cortez made connection with the ball? And to me, I don't think. But it looks when we're showing on the TV, it did it.
His arms out in front.
Yeah, but it's that, and I don't know. Me personally, if that was given against us, I'd be raging. I think it was soft.
Right, everybody in the comments, tear into Stuart right now. Absolutely tear into him.
Go on then, give it to me.
I'll give. In fact, see if you want to private message me, folks. I'll give you his address. Right, Mark.
I'll give you times of the ferry. There you go.
Nobody can afford the ferry anymore, so you'll be safe. Mark, any issues for you over the penalty? Do you think it was soft?
No, it was a fair penalty. I mean, I know when Stu's saying that you've his hands so close to Cortez, but he's still, regardless of how close it is, it's still there, and it blocks Cortez his effort on goal. So it was a penalty. I don't think there's much we can say. I mean, it's unfortunate for the lad, but his hand isn't down at his side. It's out in front of him. It blocks Cortez having his effort on goal. So I think it's a penalty. I would be annoyed if we got it against us, but by the rule, I'd say it's a penalty. But
in fact, as soon as I seen it, Connor, on the replay, I says to you, yeah, that's a penalty.
Yeah, I think it is a penalty. I think I had managed to hear after we went off the watch on when they were doing a bit of the analysis on it, they were talking about the conversations the VAR room were having, and the central conversation was around that they felt the shot for Cortez was potentially on target had it not been blocked by the hand, and that's why they've given it, which is also why they've given a booking, because I did say, and I still to an extent feel this way about it, that whilst I think it was a penalty, I think the booking was harsh on the boy. I do think it's a harsh, albeit it makes no difference in the end because it wasn't like a second booking, but you can imagine the uproar if you get a second booking for that and you're sent off, for example. So I think it's a penalty. I just wouldn't have been booking him because the proximity argument for me should save him for the booking, because you can't say that's deliberate. And although yes, the argument is it was going on target and that's why they've done it, I think you give leeway for the proximity there, but not the actual penalty itself. It's a penalty. To quote the great philosopher Christopher Boyd, it can be a hard-boiled egg and a soft-boiled egg. It's still a boiled egg. I
thought you were going to do that other Chris Boyd quote of I thought you were going to do that quote for Chris Boyd. But Cooper Livingston is saying we were lucky that Raphael wasn't sent off for a handball block before their first equaliser. I never seen that, to be fair. I never seen Raphael blocking it with his hand, but multiple man's put it in as well. So multiple man's putting it in, then you need to take it. You need to take it seriously.
Well, listen, if that's the case, Mark, if that ball hadn't ended up in the back of the net, then VAR would presumably have had a lengthy check on that.
Yeah, but they scored from it, and I think, folks, that will do us. To be honest with you, we're just going to end up going round in circles unless Connor.
Well,
Stuart,
Finley Curtis, did we touch on Finley?
Did we touch on Finley? I don't think we did. Finley Curtis. Scoring, Stuart, with one of his first touches. See what I done there? You see how I saved that there?
Well done.
Again, Stuart, he didn't look overjoyed with his celebration.
No, we noticed that. He definitely did not. But the young boy comes on, scores in Europe. He's probably thinking that he's done enough to play. I would have played him before Cortez, but again, we still need to see what Cortez can do, see if he's worth playing. Boy's got a great future in front of him, so let's not go on a halfway, man. Let's get yourself back in there, work hard, and your time will come. Absolutely.
Well, as multiple man's saying, Mark, he looked fed up. He scored and looked at the bench. Now, can I just also add to that, though, Mark, that at the end of the game, he gave Russell Martin a big smile and a big cuddle. So I don't think we can look too much into it. I don't know if it was just a case of, and the point that I made was, Finley Curtis is a massive Rangers fan, and maybe he was just pissed off at how the game went. And it was a case of, yeah, I've scored, job done, but I'm still not happy with the performance.
No, I don't mind that in the lad. I think it's because he obviously thinks maybe he should have started. Maybe that was his thing. When I don't mind that. The boy wants to play, and he only came on for the last little bit. He scored a goal. I think he offers more than Cortez, but I think the only thing with Cortez is we're paying $4 million over however long it is, so he's getting pushed in front of him, which isn't fair on Curtis because it's not his fault that he's a youth product. So I'm quite happy with him being like that. That's fine. I'd be the same because obviously it's a win, yes, but the performance wasn't great. But we obviously won. But I think he's probably just a little bit peeved that he didn't start the game, maybe.
Yeah, but Connor, and the final word to you on the show today, buddy. What he has said to Russell Martin is, I'm on, I've scored again. You have to pick me.
100%. Absolutely. We said that at the end of the watch on. I cannot get, I really don't, Martin, why has he not been getting picked anyway? He played so well against Panathinaikos, scored a great goal. May take a minor deflection, who cares? It's a great goal. He obviously then scored the pre-season game against friendly against Middlesbrough after that, which, okay, you can say, well, that's a friendly, it doesn't really matter. But he still scored, which shows a consistency of form that he was starting to pick up and get into the groove. But then as soon as the proper meat and bones stuff has started and the serious business of Champions League and domestic football, he's just been dropped. And he's not been getting the minutes he should be getting with the form he's on. And there today he's come on and went, well, I've just scored, so that shows you I should be starting it again. If you're going to make 10 changes today, Martin, why would one of those changes not be, let's start Finley Curtis? Particularly if you're going to start Kieran Dowell, you could start Curtis there instead. You could, you know what I mean? And that's the questions Rangers fans are going to ask, because you've got a boy who's scoring goals. And he's started really well. And I think you're right as well, Martin. I think the Rangers fan have come out there that, you know what, why are we in this situation? That's why he's not celebrated it. He's probably thought two things. One, there you go, boss, get me starting. And two, can you believe that we're in a situation where I actually need to score a fourth goal here just to make sure we're going to get through the tie? But I think he's been a smashing young player, and for me, I'd like to see him get more minutes. I'm not saying you need to start him every week, obviously, but you can get more minutes coming on off the bench and all that as well. And with Mikey Moore, you know, as Paul McGorricle says, you can rotate in there as well for me. So. No, I was impressed with him today, and yeah, obviously gave the smile and that to Russell Mark at the end of the game. We're all a bit guilty of maybe jumping into conclusions a bit quickly, but no, it's a clear message. Get me minutes.
Yeah, get me minutes, get me in the team, which he absolutely should be, in my opinion, but I'm, of course, obviously always biased. That will do it there, folks. Please make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you do like, share, and subscribe. I don't know what happened there. I nearly choked. It really does help the show out. Now, of course, if you're on Facebook and Twitter as well, make sure you're following, retweeting, liking, sharing, and all that good stuff as well. And of course, if you want access to loads of extra content as well as helping to support the show, then you can become, I keep trying to hit myself, then you can become a member. By using the links in the description, whether it's YouTube or Patreon, whatever one you prefer. It really helps us out. It helps to support us, and you get lots and lots of extra content as well. Stuart, Mark, Connor, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thank you very much for all the super chats, all the comments. Thank you to everybody. I know, stop hitting myself, Butler. I can't help it. For everybody listening back on all the audio platforms. For members, we are back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for your Sunday supplement. And then for CEO members, we're back tomorrow night with a brand new show, The Boardroom. And then on Monday, hundreds of stuff coming on Monday. Scottish football show, Monday Night Rabble, Afternoon Rabble, Morning Rabble. There's hundreds. So make sure you join us for all that. So go and enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we'll speak very, very soon.